Hey, beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I guess you can call it a podcast. And we are here today to talk about BET Presents the Encore, Season 1, Episode 9, Stack That. All right, let's get some things out the way real quick. I'm going to try to speed through this review as fast as I can. You know why? Because this was Keely's show. This was a Keely heavy episode, and y'all know I can't do Keely. So it's hard for me to talk about Keely and not have major insults along the way. And that can become really annoying. So I don't want to be annoying and constantly say rude things about her, although all I think is rude things about her when she opens her mouth. So we're going to get through it. All right, let's go. Also, you guys, through the entire episode, I thought this was the last one. I could have sworn they said this was the season finale. I don't know where I got that from, but when they, it just kept going and there was no type of resolve to anything. And I'm like, what is this, 2 hours or something? What's going on? And then when it was getting ready to go off and they're like next week on the finale, I'm like, what the fuck? Because I really thought it was over. I thought it was done. I'm ready for it to be over and done. So one more. So the episode opens with Keely saying she has very vivid dreams in that house. And yeah, that's strange because, well, it's not strange, but I don't know. This house is just giving me bad vibes. Because didn't Lamisha say something about having dreams or seeing things? Or she said something about the house. And I'm like, everybody's leaving. It's nothing but negativity. Yeah, I would be ready to go from that house. Like, something's going on with this house. They tell her that it's a sign of pregnancy. She says, no, I'm not pregnant. No, I'm not pregnant. And I'm like, we hope not, because you've done nothing but go through bottles of wine since you've been there. So yeah, please don't be pregnant. Okay, next the ladies have a meeting with Ghetto Sita, and she's just so loud, you guys. I am too, but I put a little music behind me so that, it's not so bad. But Ghetto Sita is just screaming out how they have to have these 3 songs with everybody on it and get ready for the show, yada, yada, yada. And Shamari's saying how she's a little bit worried because they don't have a whole show complete, basically. She said that they have 2 songs that have 0 choreography on it whatsoever. So she's nervous. Sita told Felicia to pull out all the stops. You're the queen, make sure everything is intact. Felicia says, in her confessional that she feels like they're good. They needed 3 songs with everybody on them. Right now they have 5 songs, and they're working on a women's empowerment song. We're just gonna laugh at that and keep going. And then she says, so we have 6. So Sita tells them that, they can't come out there looking like no Bama broads. So go back to fitting. She wants them to rehearse the entire show and, make sure it do what it do, baby. All right, let me just say this, and I'm not going to harp on it because I said something about it last week, but I cannot stand sunglasses on in the house like that. I'm wondering if these girls are wearing these sunglasses in the house so much because they're on TV and maybe their eyes aren't done yet because it was the morning time. I don't know, but it drives me crazy. I mean, look at Keely. She doesn't give a shit how she looks. Be like Keely. My brother does that now, and it drives me crazy. At every gathering, he is in the house with his glasses on. He does it because he's a label whore, and they're expensive glasses, so he wants everybody to see them. And I'm like, we saw them at the last event. Dude, take them off. Just put them somewhere so that, you can rock them to sleep or something later. But we're done. Take them off. Okay, I'm dumb. But he's not going to listen to this, so it's all good. So later, all the girls are in the kitchen, and Shamari is saying how it's only 4 of them and Keely, the creative director. So the twins say, well, one of the twins says, look, I know you don't want to hear this, but we really need you to be in the group. Keely goes on this whole thing about how, it's about trust, and she starts crying like crazy. And I'm like, girl, do you not want to do any work that bad? Because to me, you guys, everybody is saying, oh, it seemed like she wanted to be in the group. She wanted to be in the group. No, it seemed like she was afraid to be in the group from day one to me. I feel like she did not want to be in the group. That's why she probably came up with this creative director thing. And Todd and Carlos probably said, fine, just to have her there because she's a troublemaker. But she's scared. To me, she's scared. She doesn't want to work. She doesn't want to do anything but walk around and drink wine. So she's crying. She don't want to be in the group, but she agrees to be in the group. Okay, so Shamari and the twins are kissing Keely's ass because she's agreed to be in the group. Oh, thankfully. And Pam is just over there saying nothing. So then Shamari says, Pam, what do you think? She's like, about what? And they say about Keely, she's going to be in the group. And she says, I'm quiet. But in her confessional, she says, well, if that's what's on her heart to be in the group, then that's fine. And she says, and you can tell that singing is still a passion of hers or whatever. And I'm like, where? Where do you see that at? I don't know what these girls be saying. Maybe it's something that's cut out, but I just see Keely scared as hell. I'm sorry, I just do. Okay, so they're in with the choreographer, and Pam finally has her glasses off, and she has on lashes. Her face looks really pretty with lashes, and I love lashes. However, I can't wear them because I feel like they burn my eyes, they weigh me down. I feel like I look half asleep, but when worn right, with just the right length, natural, and not the snuffleupagus lashes, then I think lashes on people are so pretty, and I wish I could wear them. But I can't. I don't even know how to put them on correctly. I don't. But my baby face be beat. So while they're dancing and singing, Keely gets to her part and she's like, it's my line, but I don't know this shit and it's okay. Or something she said that was just really ignorant. And everybody was just kind of looking. And I'm like, she already, before they started, was laying all over the couch talking about how tired she was. And I'm like, yes, because Keely is used to being there doing nothing. She's not used to this. This is taking her way out of her element. Like, you guys wait for the last 2 days for her to actually do some shit. Yeah, she's tired. Okay, so apparently it's something that Keely needs to work on in the choreography. And the choreographer lets her know what she's doing wrong. And then what I notice is that the twins got to jump in every single time and kind of reiterate or help her out a little bit more. And I would be so irritated with that. And she was getting irritated with that. But I'm like, no, Keely, that's the same thing you was doing to Irish. We get that mic hand up. Like, sometimes people just can't take criticism or direction, and you seem to be having an issue with it. So suck it up, Buttercup. So Keely's being the bitch that she really is to the choreographer, and I feel like she did a great job in not getting all bent out of shape with her, because she was being low-key, no, not even low-key rude, she was being rude, period. And everybody was kind of picking up on it, where she's like, no, I got it, and she's laughing, and the choreographer's like, look, if you're tired, she's talking about how she's just over it, and they're like, yeah, we can tell. And the choreographer's like, look, if you're tired, you can just go to sleep. No, I'm good, I'm fine. And she does this little laugh, and I really think the choreographer handled it perfectly, because I would have been like, broad, but she didn't do that. So of course Keely ends up getting pissed off and leaving, and the twins are like, look, we don't have time for sleep and all that, because their work ethic is something totally different from all the rest of these girls, even Shamari and Pam. I mean, they were still there and ready to work, but the twins are next level. The next morning, Shamari decides to baby Keely again, which I am so sick of her babying this girl. And she's like, I love your energy, Keely. Don't run from it. And I'm like, what energy? She hasn't shown a bit of energy. Oh, she was very energized when she was in the dance rehearsals with the other girls, because she didn't technically have to really do that shit. She was just doing it for show. But now that she actually has to learn it and do it, now she has no energy. But Keely goes on to say how she hates it and she's miserable, and she was miserable because she doesn't like signing autographs. And I'm like, girl, don't nobody ask for autographs no more, and especially from you. No one cares. She doesn't like talking to fans. She doesn't like doing this and that. And Shamari's face was hilarious, like, bitch. But she stayed nice about it. But Shamari, quit babying her. Yeah, so in the confessional, Keely's like, oh my God, people loved me performing, but I didn't love it. Can we be done with this question? And I'm like, girl. And then back in the kitchen, Shamari is, oh my God, I just love your performance and everything. And I'm like, yeah, because she's dead on performing right now. All this shit she's putting on, and she's giving the performance of a lifetime. So the twins and Pam are in the studio, and they're writing, and they're kind of collaborating and coming together with things, and they're telling Pam, oh, I love that. She came up with a name or a word for something that they could use. And later on in the episode, Pam is going to say that she got a chance to see the twins' heart, because what they're writing is like a women's empowerment song. So of course they're giving a little dialogue about what they think and how if women just stood together. And I'm like, it's so funny coming from them. However, Um, if they would have just been this way the whole time, you guys, the twins have so much potential, but they're just little assholes. They just are. They don't know how to talk to people. They don't know how to communicate. And maybe, no, they weren't just putting on. That's just how they are, I believe. But if they would have been this calm and cool and collected throughout the whole thing, maybe the show would have gone differently. Perhaps they could have still had like 7 or 8 people still there as opposed to just these 5. I don't know. But later on in the episode, one of them is working great with Cosign, and he's like, oh my God, we're working together. And I'm like, damn it, all of this could have been done sooner. Wait, and I'm jumping ahead, but I'm just going to go over it now. When Cosign was in there working really well with, I think it's Felicia, and she walked out the room for a minute, and he's trying to talk to the engineer. I can't remember his name, but he's like constantly calling his name. And I'm like, engineer dude said, listen, these girls in here crazy. I'm not saying a word. He wasn't even answering Cosign. He's like, listen, my name is Wes, and I ain't in that mess. Cosign steady calling him, just trying to tell him that he's happy. And dude is like, my name is Paul, and that's just between y'all. And he ain't say a word. He didn't turn around. He's not having no parts of what's going on with this show. He's just here to engineer, and that's what he gonna do. Oh, and we still not gonna talk about the fact that Elijah left after they had that big blow up fight. Nobody ever mentioned it. We still just gonna brush over it because Elijah's gone. Elijah been gone. Oh, okay. So then we have Keely and Shamari in the kitchen, and Keely is acting out how the show is going to go. And then when it's over, she's like, and then we take a bow. And then Shamari's like, and then what do we do? And she says, we get drunk. And then in the confessional, Keely's like, I've been drinking so much wine. And I'm like, we know you're always drunk. So how is that any different than anything else? Ugh, yeah, okay. All right, let's move on. So while they're talking, Pam comes to the kitchen and she's like, Shamari, can I pull you for a second? I feel like Pam is just not really fucking with Keely. I'm sorry, I don't. Even though later on in the show, she's going to say how Keely is working on all this stuff and she needs a little bit of help. I just feel like since Pam confronted Keely, she's not really fucking with her. But she pulls Shamari to the side. They go in and FaceTime with Nivea. Nivea looks good. Nivea looks well rested. She's happy to hear from them and everything. She's happy that, everything is going well. And she tells them, pretty much sorry she left, but wasn't too much she could do. Like, it was really fooling with her. And, they let her know that everyone is missing her. And she's very touched by that. She's like, I didn't realize that I, really impacted you guys like that. So it's good to hear. So it was a cute moment. We were happy to see Nivea. I actually really did think Nivea was going to come back, you guys. But I guess not. Now we're in the kitchen with all the ladies and the choreographer. And she asked Keely, listen, how does it feel coming full circle? Whereas first you were just here, basically just here, and now you have to perform and you're in the group. And she's shaking her head. She doesn't like it. I don't like it. And I'm like, how many times are we going to talk about how she doesn't like it? She doesn't like it. We don't like her. We don't care. So the choreographer says how Keely is just on a totally different page than everybody else. So hopefully she gets with it, because the twins once again are in there saying they want to practice until they can't anymore. And I'm like, Keely doesn't want to practice, period. So yeah, they're on different levels. Okay, so now we jump to Shamari in the studio, and she has to do a soprano verse, which was actually Misha's. And she's talking about how Misha was the perfect soprano and it was no problem for her to get it done. And I'm like, where? Because everything was a problem for her and Irish to get done. Number one, they were lazy. Number two, they couldn't sing. So when was it that Misha was able to just go in there and belt some shit out? Because we missed it. I'm sorry, we missed it. I feel like whenever people leave, then they get praised like crazy. But no, I remember Irish sounds like a billy goat, and Lamisha they just can't sing. Lamisha sings with auto-tune or something, or she gets it out later, but just a little bit at a time, not a whole lot. So whatever Shamari is talking about, I just don't know. But anyway, she goes in and she does her part and she's screaming. She looks like it hurts, but apparently it was good. I'm sorry, I'm not saying Shamari can't sing because she can, but I guess she's just not a soprano because to me it didn't sound good. But they eventually was like, oh, and she even said, oh, I did good. And I'm like, where for all of this? Next, Keely's in the booth, and everything she sings, as soon as she's finished, she's like, late. I was late on that, and that was stringy. I didn't like it, and I'm like, I didn't like it either. But I'm not gonna lie, she didn't sound bad, but she's just annoying. Her attitude is just so shitty. Okay, let's move on. All right, Pam goes in, does her thing right away. They say it's beautiful. Once it's done, Shamari says, look, everything is cut and all vocals are on the tracks. I hope ain't nobody leaving because I'm not recutting nothing. So next we get a quick scene with Keely in the studio with the choreographer, and she's saying how she wants to be a team player, and if nothing else, her choreo is going to be good. So she's telling the choreographer that she doesn't mind crawling off the couch, and the choreographer, she's so sweet, y'all. She was just like, bitch, look at you. And she's like, yes, if you want me to do something like that. And then she's like, well, and I'm like, girl, no, she doesn't want you crawling off the couch. Just get your big ass up. So, okay, fine. Keely wants to, be a team player now. Fine. So now they're back in wardrobe, and it's just still a hot ass mess. I'm gonna try not to take up too much time because everything they put on just looked a mess. It looked like the Matrix. It looked like, I don't know, it was just awful. As soon as they come in, Keely is going through the racks and she's complaining. I can't wear red because as soon as the lights hit it, it's gonna look awful. I don't want to wear this because I'm already big. I don't want to accentuate that. She's complaining, and in this, I don't blame her because everything looked awful. You guys, so Keely puts on this outfit. It looks a mess. It's a midriff and puffy sleeves. It looks like some kind of latex, and once again she's crawling and gyrating on the floor, and as soon as she gets up, the stylist is like, I don't like the fit, I don't like the sleeves, I don't like the way it looks, I don't like the way it doesn't accentuate anything, I don't like the way, oh my god, he just tore her apart. Listen, he just keeps it real and tells her it's not flattering, and it wasn't. But nothing she puts on is flattering. I'm sorry. She's a mess. But the wardrobe, again, is just terrible. Everything that they came up with, like these big combat boots and everything, what type of style are they going for these girls? I mean, geez, these are ladies. Why are you coming with all this latex and stuff? The songs that they're singing doesn't even go along with the style that they're bringing. They need to all sit down and come up with something cohesive. It's ridiculous. So later on, all the girls are sitting outside, and apparently they've come up with what they're going to wear. So they're going over everything, and they're asking Keely, is she fine with wearing whatever? And she says, yeah, she's fine with wearing whatever. Everybody agrees to their wardrobe, and hopefully they're about to be able to look decent at least. So Fallon's in her confessional, and she's saying how she and her sister have learned a lot, and they finally learned how to work with people. And I'm like, girl, it only took y'all almost 30 days. And I'm not even sure that you guys really know how to work with people, or if you're just ready to get this shit over with. And then Felicia, she tells everybody what they're going to wear, what's going to happen, how they're going to do the wardrobe changes. And she says she was very clear when she was talking to wardrobe. And I'm like, these girls just cannot not be in control. Like, these twins are just ridiculous. But if it gets it done, fine. So then Felicia says that, she's just worried about Keely because everything she's saying is just like, yep, it's fine. And Keely really does have a shady attitude. Now, one thing I can say is that these twins are doing better in the fact that they have not snapped on Keely, and she's being just disrespectful and dismissive to everyone. So kudos to them for that, but maybe it should have happened. I probably would have felt better if they'd have let her have it. But everyone has grown now. All right, you guys. So later on that day, or maybe it's the next morning, Keely sits outside with one of the twins and tells them that she's not going to be able to do it. And the twin is like, don't you think you need to tell the rest of the group? And she's like, tell them what? Tell them you can't do it. So they go in the kitchen, they tell everybody she can't do it. They're like, nah, Shamari has a fit. Listen, if she doesn't go on, I'm not going on. It's just too much. Until Keely starts crying like crazy again and says, I'm here for you guys. And I'm like, this broad just wanted people to beg her. stinking ass. Like, I just don't like this girl. She's just always putting on. She's acting. It's just too much. And yeah, I'll be glad when it's over because I can't with Keely. And this was the Keely show. And I didn't like it. But we are done. That is it. That is the end. And we'll be back next week for the finale. Thank God. Let's see how that goes. It looks like it's drama filled, but I'm sure they'll pull it out in the end. Even if it's the editing, making it look like the show is going to be great, the show is going to end up being great. Watch. But good for them because after all this that they put in, they need a great show. All right, well, if you have stayed this long, thank you so much. You are the real MVP. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. I am going to retire my Bow Wow picture, but I was just so proud of it. But I'm sure the meme is getting old now, so I'll have to incorporate a new meme. But please do subscribe. Tell me in the comments what I was right about, what I was wrong about. Do you agree, disagree? If you disagree, keep it cute because I control back. Boo boo. I'm just kidding. No, I'm really not. But yeah, let's talk about it. All right. Talk to you guys later. Smooches.